Hey y'all, hey, I'm back. I know I did not post at the end of last week. Good reason for it. So let's get on into it. I was going through a lot last week. I felt very exhausted, um, in every way, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Um, we are coming to the end of the year. And anybody that knows me and been watching me, your girl has been like in the wait. I have been in the wait for something that God showed me, and I mean in expectancy. I have. Don't feel like I've been waiting frustrated or like when God, like I've just really been chilling, and I went through something else this year that kind of just like made me kind of just settle into your will, God. But last week I was feeling exhausted, and it was for multiple reasons. I had been pushing, trying to finish this year off strong, maybe going too strongly off my own strength, just trying to be like, I want the fruits of what I've been working on to show themselves. So I was kind of just, trying to do a lot, and off of, being off of it, filming for 40 days, I think coming back at it, I'll be feeling a lot of energy. So being back on social media, all of it, I think was, I went at it too quick. I should have slowly eased my way back into things. And my period came. And so that was painful for me for two reasons, because I'm on my period, and because your girl been working on a baby. So I definitely thought that that was going to be a blessing of this year, and for it not to happen, I was hurting. Yeah. I was hurting from not being pregnant. And I tried not to sit in it too long. I talked to my husband about it, and but I was still, emotional about it, and I didn't want to get on camera like that. Because I hadn't even been talking about being pregnant again. So I just wasn't, last week wasn't the week for me to be here with y'all. Also, holidays is coming, and had a lot of things going on that I needed to participate in, so I was kind of reserving my energy for the things I had to be present in person. And yeah, so I just took the week, well, the latter part of the week, and I was resting. I had told myself, like, I had been putting a lot of pressure on myself not to sleep in, or, even when I was like laying there, my mind was going that I should be doing something else. So I wasn't even resting while I was trying to rest. I wasn't getting the rest I needed because my mind was going like, you should be doing this, this, this. I can't believe that you're not doing what you need to be doing. So I was not resting well. I got it today. I got up early, and my mind was going on what I needed to do, and I just took a deep breath, like, I am going back to sleep. I'm going back to sleep, and I'm not going to think about the things. I am going to get rest, and I did, and I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. because it had been very hard for me the end of last week. Um, y'all, the spirit is on me so heavy today. I'm like trying to get through it. The spirit is so heavy on me, like for the last couple of days. Song that's been playing in my head is Leave Me Alone, Leave Me Alone, Leave Me Alone, Leave Me Alone, Lord, keep leading me. I've been racking my brain about how I'm supposed to show up. I told y'all before, and at the beginning of the year, God put it on me so heavy, like that even though I'm in this place to speak to y'all as a Christian woman, that his kids have been spread out over a lot of things. You know, believing in a lot of things, working in a lot of things, male and female, you know, that we are talking to one God. And I know a lot of people don't believe that we're talking to one God because of our belief systems. But God laid that heavy on me, and I was scared to release it because I'm like, no. Even what I was raised in would tell me like that's not right. But I, in my heart, always believe like the God I'm talking to wouldn't just damn everybody else to hell when they never knew. When they was raised in something and taught something different, I just could not believe like the God that comforted and poured love into me couldn't do that for everybody. And God poured into me like that is the truth. We try to box God. We try to box God into what we say he can be. What we believe God, how God should be moving for us. How we're supposed to dress and speak and look because God's got his hand on us. God can't be boxed. God is moving abundantly throughout the world. It's not going to look like one thing. It's not going to sound like one thing. It's not going to be structured in a way that pleases you always. The only person that's supposed to be pleased is God. That's the only thing we should be working towards daily is to please God. And I got stuck in that. I got wrapped into like, what should I look like? How should I deliver it? How should I be moving? Because God has his hand on my life. my husband asked me to straighten my hair, and I'm like, I've been talking to people about being natural and not trying to conform and fit into anything, you know, like what does that look like with me straightening my hair? I cried about it. I'm like, that doesn't fit my image. Like, but my husband is my husband. And he's never seen it this way. He just wanted to see it. And he even told me he would make an appointment for me. And I'm like, nah, I can't let nobody else touch my hair. I can't let nobody else touch my hair. That was heavy on me because I didn't want them putting anything in my hair that I didn't want them to use, you know. I didn't want nobody hands on my hair that I didn't know. You know, I don't know what people got going on with them that they just all up on my scalp. You know, I could not fathom it. So I'm like, no, I'm going to figure it out. And so I tried to do it the way I did it before. I had roller set my hair before to stretch it, you know, but I didn't use any heat and I just used the shea butter on it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that again. I ain't had no shea butter. I ain't had no shea butter. And I had cut my hair so that it would sit better when it was stretched. So anybody that was on Twitch with me last week, y'all see me cut my hair. But it was not participating. The curls was like bouncier because I cut it, you know, it was like real healthy. Once I cut my hair, so me trying to put it on the rollers, it was just not trying to cooperate. And I was like, I had got it in my mind, like, okay, I'm going to blow dry it. Like, this is just from olive oil. I didn't put nothing in my hair other than olive oil. And I was like, well, I'm going to blow dry it out. I have not put heat to my hair in 6 years. So I was like stressing, like, oh Lord, my hair about to be tore from this heat. It's about to look crazy. It's about to look fried. Like, I was so worried about it. And I blew dried out and it was just like blunt. Like, it was like, because I had cut it, it was just like blow. And I'm like, oh, this is about to look mad crazy. I was just like, I don't know. I can't flat iron. I just could not. Like, I was just like telling myself, I can't do this. Like, and my mom ended up coming and she had her flat iron and I went ahead and I flat ironed it out. And once I was finishing, my husband, we got cameras everywhere, my husband had seen it and he was just like talking to me through the camera about how excited and how beautiful it looked, you know. And I was still struggling with it though. Like, I was still struggling with it. And we had this Christmas party to go to and I was just like, yeah, I felt fraudish. You know, I kind of felt like a fraud. And I got up this morning and I read Isaiah 43 and 44. And I didn't have my journal. You know, I usually like journal after I read my Bible to say what I got from it and to thank God, you know. But I didn't have it. And so I just laid there and like let the word marinate on me. And it was talking about like how God chose us. Like, we're God's choice. And I just like felt like a heaviness of gratefulness. Like, it's not like our family where we're born and we're together. Like, I made a video a little while ago and I said, I love my husband so much because he's the only one that chose me. Like, my husband chose to be with me for the rest of his life. We're the only ones that chose each other. Everybody else was just like, we were put together. But we chose to be family. And I thought about that when I was like reading that. Like, God chose to create me. And it's not going to look like nobody else's journey. I am no one else. And I have to move in that I can't be concerned about what other people feel about it. What other people think it should look like. What other people feel like I should be doing, or how I should be coming across, or if they think God is with me or not. I have to move off the knowledge of, I know God sees me. God sees me. And is using me in a way that I only can be used. This is my journey and my path and my walk. And it's not going to look like anybody else's. I can't be so focused on people's perception of me. I think that's what I was getting exhausted from. That's why I was so tired, because I was worried about, like, will I say it wrong? Will they not receive the way it looks, or how it sounds, or the words I use? I surrender it. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Lord, keep leading me. I got to that Christmas party and I haven't been around people. You know, I've been in real isolation other than these videos and being on Twitch. Like, I have not been around people. And I did not realize it. Like, I knew I hadn't. I've been going to things and being around people, but I really did not realize it for real, until I was at that party, you know. And I didn't know how much I needed that. I was received so well. And I used to work at the same job that my husband still works at, you know. So a lot of people know me because I used to work there. But people that I hadn't seen in a while, you know, they was walking up to me and being like, you know, I remember you because you're good people. You good people. And I was having a conversation with somebody that took a heavy loss. They lost their daughter, their grown daughter. And I was still working there when he had lost her, you know. And it's been a couple of years, and I was telling him, like, you looking a lot better, you know. And he was like, yeah, you know, you got to just put on a character to be around people. You know, I still hurt the same. But, you know, I want to be here and I want everybody to enjoy themselves. And so I put on my character today. And I tried not to talk to him too much because I didn't want to cry about my own loss, you know. When he said that, it like hit me. You know, you don't, that never goes away. You always carry it. You just carry it differently. You just carry it differently. So I like, you know, just went ahead and just told him, well, you looking good. You know, I'm glad to see you. And I had ran into a couple people, and there was somebody there that I seen, and I wanted to talk to her. But she was like, when I seen her, she was like making her food, you know, so I'm like, I don't want to go up there. She got her plate in her hand, you know. And I was supposed to be going to take a picture with my husband, and I'm like, well, let me go to the bathroom real quick. And she came in the bathroom. And she told me, like, you inspired me because you don't make it seem like you got it all figured out. You show up and you share. And I told her, like, I just want people to know, like, you don't have to have it all figured out because it's God who figures it out. I want people to be okay with being themselves in any form they show up. And we talked about God, and we talked about journaling, and we talked about growth. And I needed to see her. I didn't know that before that day, but I needed to see her. And later on in the party, she had came over and was talking with my husband about how she didn't have any friends, you know. And I laughed because Erica was telling me I need to get a friend. I got a lot of friends, but the friends that I was interacting with daily, we were just in different places. So the daily conversations I was having, or the people stopping by, or, you know, those interactions ceased to exist because we just weren't on the same path anymore, and I wasn't going to force it. I wasn't going to force us to be. You can't force somebody to want something that you want. And if y'all not on the same path, you have to be okay with going the ways you have to go, with no animosity, no hate, no resentment, just letting life flow how it needs to flow, going your direction in the best growth for you. And I did. And my husband was laughing because kept on saying we didn't have no friends, and he was like, you keep saying that. And I was like, he know what you're saying because he watched my experience or whatever. But we have to remember that we do. There are people out there rooting for you. There are people out there praying for you and wanting the best for you and feeling the pain you're feeling. You know, they are in those moments with you and rooting that things turn around. And we just have to get to a place where we have a new perspective to see them and move towards those people and let those people come towards you. And also have discernment that everybody ain't those people. And not letting just everybody around, because it could cause some other stuff. But I said all that to say, if you have a relationship with God, you're the only one that has to know that. You keep working it and strengthening it, and people will not be able to, well, they'll try, okay? They'll try to deny it and say like that's not it or name it something else. But God gives you a light. God puts a light in you that nothing else will explain. Nothing else can explain the way you are glowing. Nothing else can explain the way darkness can't sit around you. Nothing else can explain the joy you have in chaos. There's nothing like God in your life. It said, when you feel like you're in between a rock and a hard place, that's not the end. What we see with our natural eyes God can be working something completely different spiritually. We're looking at things with our natural eyes and being like, there can't be good that comes of this. There can't be a better way. Like if these people are seeing me this way and talking about me, or if these are my experiences, there's a way that people think it may look or supposed to look. But only God knows. Only God knows what He created you for and the people you're supposed to reach and how they need to receive it. You're going to be unrecognizable to even yourself. I have no clue. I have no clue how God is going to turn this life of mine around. I have no clue how it's gonna turn into what God keeps on showing me it will. But also, if I had any idea, I would try to make it come faster. I would try to do everything in my power to live in it as soon as I could. And that's another thing she said to me. She was saying, she was reading her Bible when we was in the bathroom and said, you know, Elizabeth was pregnant with John. And when Mary came to her, the baby leaped. Jesus had to wait for John to be born. He was the one to announce that Jesus was coming. And sometimes we want to rush things, forgetting that there's an alignment that has to happen. My story is not just my story, it's tied to somebody else. My children are tied to somebody else. My marriage happened right when it was supposed to happen. I did what I was supposed to do when I was supposed to do it. I don't know when the world is supposed to be a part of that. God has a beautiful alignment and plan for how these things will work out and who's supposed to be a part of it. So we just have to be meek. He said humble is to just be glad to be doing it. To be glad to be of service. And meekness is to know I couldn't do it without God. I could not be here in this moment sharing this with you without God. I could not be who I am right now without God. My husband laughed and said, why you think you a beautician cutting on your hair? I cut my hair and straightened it out. I think I did a wonderful job, okay? That also was God, because I don't know what I was doing. But I got it on straightened out. And I think I did a fine job, okay? I think I did a fine job. I think I did a good job. Who knows how long it's gonna last? Because as soon as some water get to it, it's over with. It's over. But I did it. I did it. It looks good. It's healthy. They're gonna be fine. I was worried about my curls, but I ain't put no chemicals in it, so it's gonna be fine. It's everything gonna be fine, because it is what it is. I did it, everything I needed to do. I made sure that it was trimmed, the ends was where they needed to be at to be getting it. Put some oil on my hair and took my time. Yeah. Stop worrying about how it's looking. Or that you're saying it right. Or that people will perceive it like you want them to. Just keep on moving forward. All it takes is subtle changes. And one day, you'll be unrecognizable to yourself. And it doesn't even matter what people think about it. And that hit me so hard. Like, girl, God sees you. What you worried about other people looking at you for? God sees you. God hears you. Don't keep leading me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. That's all I care about, that I'm waking up daily to be led by God and doing my best to please God. It won't always be perfect, but from now on, I'm going to have a grace for myself. That I fell short, but I'm going to get right back to doing the best I can. Doing better than I could. 'Cause after you mess up, the lesson should be learned, right? The lesson should be learned. So you can do better than you could before. God knows what I deserve. God knows what you deserve. I love y'all.